How would you encourage a young woman to pursue her career in AI?
You can literally launch a startup at your home from your laptop that is faster, cheaper, and with less resources.
How can they control this uncontrollable technology?
We cannot build an ethical AI as 100%.
Because it's very important that we emphasize the fact it's not just a one country or a one state act. It needs a collaboration on a multilateral level.
Every hard object that can be implemented with the software and have internet can be transferred to AI.
UAE, they are invested a lot in cybersecurity field, so also in the AI.
We need diplomats who understand technology, and we need technologists who understand diplomacy.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we are presenting from Muhammad bin Rashid Library and a new episode about AI and human challenges. My guests today are Dr. Sheikha Al-Gaidi and Engineer Reem Al-Msabbah. I can't but say what I feel about it. I read the biography of Baba Zayed, and 52 years ago, Baba Zayed and Sheikha Fatima, may Allah bless her, they established what's called women empowerment, and they worked so hard to empower women in education. Today, 50 years later, we see Emirati woman presenting herself in the most cut-edging field like AI and powerfully leading the scene. Thank you. I'm so blessed to be here today to present those identical ladies that I honestly appreciate and have personal gratitude to them. Engineer Sheikha, the first time I saw her, her eyes and curiosity can show. When she look at computers, she want to know deep down who's behind it. That's why today Sheikha is not only an engineer, she is also pursuing her education in studying academically cybersecurity and AI. Also, she has a huge history, more than 15 years in the field of technology. Welcome, Sheikh Al-Gaidi.
Thank you.
Engineer Reem Al-Msabbah. I saw that lady. She looked young, but her behavior, she gave the impression that she is a CEO of Adele or a huge company. I can see the skills that give an impression and talks words. And this is the chance that I can enlighten to this and express my feeling about Reem Al-Msabbah. Reem Al-Msabbah, beside her amazing and very, very inspiring startup about enabling youth and giving them the right skills to find jobs in this world of challenging careers, she enable youth and she enable women in AI as her role. And again I say, and I confirm, age is just a number. Welcome, Reem.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome both. So, we start with you. What drive you into AI, Sheikha?
As you know, I've been in cybersecurity field for almost 15 years. So I've seen the change, the shift in this field. So an AI, when it came, it's not just a tool, it's changing the whole game. Okay, so I don't want to stay in the surface. So I decided to build a very solid academic grounded in this field to enhance the security and the cybersecurity field.
I understand. So you have a passion to protect others.
Correct.
That's an amazing vision.
It's not just the others, it's the whole system. It's people, process, the technology, the investment, everything that is people, they are passionate and everything now is saved in the technology. Everyone is adopting technology. So I think it is our role to protect these kind of investment.
From only changing password to social engineering, Sheikha, that was a huge hype when we talk about cybersecurity. You remember 15 years back, it was just a password. You need to protect yourself. Today, we are into social engineering, as I always hear this word from you. Could you explain
I don't think that it was only the password, but I think the awareness of people has been increased how to protect their accounts, their passwords, their emails, whatever. But it has been always a lot of things that is related to infrastructure, related to all layers that the application, the network. But people, I think their mentality has been changed. They understand the field more. Even the normal people, is not only the tech people.
Yes, exactly. And that's what you do.
Yes.
You are pursuing your PhD. And I know it takes 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, correct. And no, it is between 5 to 7 years. So I already completed my second year. Yes, I'm doing it in AI and cybersecurity field because how to use real data and deep learning in predicting the cyber threats, especially in the UAE organizations. So currently collecting the data that is related to cyber incidents is very difficult, to be honest, and there is a gap because we don't have centralized locations that is collecting the evidence between the federal level and the local entities and organization.
Do you think blockchain technology can be utilized to actually centralize all the data into one, like, you know how blockchain works?
The issue is actually the classification of these kind of data, because it is classified as confidential, and the organization, they are not sharing such data with the public.
Or as a blockchain can be private, as you know.
Even if it is private, how it will be linked with the academic and the universities is such as, I think there is till this moment there is a gap. There's
no net connection or channels between all of them.
I think you need a lot of approvals and maybe permissions to access these kind of data.
And as I understand, data are into classified open data, or
yes, and the cyber attacks that is related to entities, because you will be if you announce this kind of information, you will announce also the vulnerabilities that is having and the weakness in such organization. So it could lead to extra attack and additional attacks in that field.
And how do you see yourself when you finish the 7 years? Will you be able to create or support a research to enable?
To be honest, one of the things that I'm trying to do is in my research is make this research is actionable. So creating the full model for prediction. So there will be an action if someone is adapting this kind of model or AI tool that I will produce.
Looking at your passion and your background, and you really have curiosity, as I said in the beginning, I can see that you will develop a tool, Engineer Sheikha, that can really be applied and utilized. I'm looking forward.
Hopefully, Alhamdulillah, there is a lot of private entities and organizations that there are also interested in this idea, and I'm having this kind of negotiation and talk with them.
Wonderful. I believe before ending the 7 years, you will start your start.
Hopefully, I will finish it before 7 years.
I can see maybe a solution can arise. Coming to Reem Al-Musabbah. Engineer Reem Al-Musabbah, you studied chemical engineering. And then you enrolled yourself into another realm of possibilities. You have sharpened your skills. And I want to ask you, who enabled you?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be among brilliant women. That's a very tough question. Who enabled you? I think if there is a way, there is always a passion and a purpose to do whatever you require. So I started my journey in entrepreneurship back at university. My background is, yes, in engineering, but my passion is in entrepreneurship. Alhamdulillah, I was grateful to work on multiple ventures, mostly leveraging emerging technologies, where I've learned firsthand the importance of experimenting, iterating, and also understanding how people interact with these technologies. Not just understanding how technology work, but as what my colleague Sheikha mentioned, it's important to understand the accessibility and the meaningful of these technologies to the people themselves. And that drove my passion throughout this whole journey, understanding that if I can challenge the status quo, then why not?
And also adding to what you have said, Reem, analyzing your profile, I find the sense of community value. Yeah. It's from the time you spend on volunteering. I can see the sharing, the community, even your startup. It's all about enabling others, seeing the best of them, creating opportunity to others.
Yes.
That is really something of value. What are the skills that Engineer Reem, you see? Youth today are so scared of AI. A while ago, I heard like there is a lady who changed her profession because of AI, fearing from AI she studied another profession. Unfortunately, AI is controlling all. You can't keep changing the profession. So what are the skills that require today words? I finished university. My job is no longer the same as I studied. What are the skills to enable the youth into the world of technology?
I think it's important that we take a step back and understand that fear stems from the unknown. If you don't know something, they're always afraid of tapping into it. And I want to share a quote that I heard from Dr. Faili. She's a former chief scientist at Google Cloud. She said that the future of AI will rely on the values and the diversity of human being more than the efficiency of the machines themselves. So if you think more about this quote itself, you would understand, yes, technical aspects are required. Hard skills are required to understand the whole framework. But human skills, we're speaking about critical thinking, ethical reasoning, problem solving. All of these are very essential that I pursue the youth for them to understand these skills and also amplify their skills and complementing with the existing tools of AI.
So those are the challenges that need to be unlocked and not the knowing, as you said. Like, we can know things, but how do we reach to that information? How do we analyze that fear of unknowing? How do we sit? How do we critics? How do we say, yes, it is fearful. Let me talk about that fear. That's a wonderful added value information. How would you encourage a young woman to pursue her career in AI?
And we live in such a golden age where, as I mentioned in the previous questions, the hundreds of tools that are out there, there are literally no barriers to build anything. You can literally launch a startup at your home from your laptop that is faster, cheaper, and with less resources. What you need right now is not much about the capital and more about you're willing to learn, you're willing to adapt, and you're willing to innovate and build. So, and this takes me also to a phenomena that I was reading about called the solar unicorns. So we're going to see in the future multi-million, multi-billion startups that are run by one founder. And it's a very interesting phenomena which shows the implications of AI and how it can help and support women, women, men also to be part of this technological advancement.
Thank you so much. Another question to you, Engineer Reem. How do your passion for building from an idea shape your current project, Retake, Isal, and Unipreneur?
The passion was pure curiosity, just understanding that we live in such a beautiful world that you don't have to accept it as it is. You have the options to utilize tools to modify it and challenge the status quo. So it was always about building something that is meaningful, that is driven by purpose, sustainable on the long term, and never waiting for someone to give me permission. This has always driven my passion.
How many years is your startup, Engineer Reem?
I think it's been since university, so over 5 years now.
The first person who believed in you?
I believed in myself. I was the first person to believe in myself. And of course, with the support of my environment, my parents, they all paved the way to help me build myself and my character.
So share with us one technique you utilize to always keep this spirit up.
I think your surrounding is very important. The people that you choose around you can literally break it or make it. So choose your people wisely. Be part of the volunteering opportunities. Join us at Women in AI, and you'll be surrounded by amazing people who will always challenge you and push you to your best.
The biggest challenge you faced in Women in AI and into technology, entrepreneurship, this combination, and diplomacy, something that you faced and you would like to share it with us?
I think challenges are very normal. Till today, I do face challenges. Every day is a challenge, but it's just your perspective. How do you look at this challenge? Do you want it to stop you and be like, oh, I'm going to just base it on gender basis and I'm not going to do this because of 1, 2, and 3? Or do I look for solutions and find a way? So it's very important that we adopt that perspective. And now, since the topic and the theme is AI, amplify it. Let it augment your abilities. There is amazing tools. My cousin, he's 6 years old and he's building websites. So what's going to stop you now?
Wonderful. I think your mindset, Engineer Reem, is to be teachable. As a young lady with all of those techniques and this projection of life, that's something inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Cybersecurity, and I just heard in the news that a couple of years, a whole government been shut down because it got hacked. So today, the cybersecurity is no longer is just a essential. It's not just a terminology. Can you share with us what is the UAE implementing? And I know that you are in love with the strategies of UAE in cybersecurity. Whenever you talk, you even one time told me, do you know that if you want to talk to cybersecurity, you need to have a certificate? Because it's a very important and sensitive talk. And to be honest, even in GITEX, we can see there's a huge pavilion in GITEX about cybersecurity where they try to showcase all the standard, as you said, for system, for people in UAE. Can you give us in-depth or some information about what are UAE strategies in the cybersecurity?
UAE, they are invested a lot in cybersecurity field, so also in the AI. So it's not just they invest on the technology, they also invest in the people, trying to develop talent in these fields. Alhamdulillah, now when you see most of the universities here in the UAE, they are offering cybersecurity as a specialization in the universities. So the market itself, the organization, they understand the roles. So you will see in the organization the full hierarchy for the information securities, from chief information security officer to specialists in the operation centers to specialists in the governance. Also, they establish a lot of standards that all the government entities, private sector, they have to follow in the federal level, also in the Emirates level. Each and every Emirates, they have their own standard, and plus a lot of organizations, they are complying with the international standards such as NIST, ISO 27001. So leaders in the organization understand what the cybersecurity is, and they are aligning with the UAE strategy, which make you proud.
I can feel how much are you proud and in love of your field and of your visionary leaders. And yes, I agree. As we can see, UAE is stepping ahead, and 2071 is the UAE vision to be number one worldwide. And we can see day and night those implementation happening. As I mentioned it before, like even indirectly, they are spreading, as you said, awareness for people, giving education, spreading knowledge, informing. In fact, this library always also publish and promote those kind of freely educated to spread awareness, and thank you for
I just want to add something that also in some organization they are adapting the research in the in the universities. So there is also a collaboration between organizations and universities to apply these kind of researches that is related to AI, cybersecurity, and technology field.
I agree, and thank you so much. Engineer Arim, women in AI, who inspired you to be enrolled into this amazing, and I am one of the members who's always grateful for the initiatives and in the development that you are doing at this sector. And what are the challenges do you face when a woman wants to go to an AI field?
Sure. First of all, we're blessed to have you with us as a member. You've been a great contributor. Women in AI is a non-profit organization that empowers women not just in AI, but also in emerging technology. So we provide them with projects, initiative, networking to support the inclusivity of women when it comes to enforcing the future of tech. We work on various initiatives. Maybe one that I would like to mention right now, that a project that is close to my heart and I'm leading is called 100 Women in AI Faces in partnership with UNDP. So it's a storytelling campaign where we want to showcase and shed the light on 100 inspiring women in the MENA region, not just about visibility.
You're two now.
Well, we'd love to have you guys. And it's not just about visibility. It's
will be
about
our
showcasing who are the builders, who are the decision makers, and how their voice should be integrated within this framework that we're working on. On the system level, we're also working on the ethics of AI, data privacy. So we're working on global standards with the mothership of women in AI, the global head, making sure that we're not just participants on what's happened, but we're also involved in the decision making. And then on the second part of your question, the challenges that women face. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think we live in such a blessed country that I'm going to be biased if I mention challenges. Alhamdulillah, the UAE has been pioneering when it comes to inclusivity and empowering women in every sector. And I think the challenges is what's ingrained in our mind. So structural biases and the stuff that we reinforce every time they ask us this question. So it's our duty as women to showcase it's not about our ability. Women are already aware. They know how to solve. They know how to build. They know how to code. They can reach amazing positions. So it's more about looking at them as non-barriers and just enabling yourself, because opportunities are there and it's you who takes the decision.
I agree. And I always say also the woman, she bring a child and take care of a child, and she's like a project manager, risk manager. She makes sure that this child is alive. Yeah. He is not overdosed by food or medicine. Even she has a nanny, she has to manage. So I always told women, you are a project manager by default.
By default.
And even when a woman goes to an interview and she used like 6 or 7 years of her life, she was at home. Actually, she worked day and night. What?
It's a full-time job. Yes, it's a full-time job.
And the skills that she has, as you said, problem solving is at the highest, because she solved every day this child problem or the father or the family. Social skills, communication skills too, because a house is just an organization. So she is managing.
Yes.
Yeah, totally agree.
And with the AI, it would be like, wow. So let's go to the other module, which is, as you mentioned, the ethics and the AI. Now, globally, they are trying to write a codes, a structure, laws, like I have read the European laws and structure for AI. How can they control this uncontrollable technology? How can they manage it? How can they ethically implement it? As you said, how can it be unbiased, in this case, globally? What do you think about this aspect, Sheikha?
We have to sit with ourselves and be honest, okay? We cannot build an ethical AI as 100%, because it will be based on the data that you train your AI models. So what's kind of the data? who is overseeing it, who's controlling it. By end of the day, it will be the baby of who's building it. So if you're biased, it will be the result will be biased. So if it is not transparent, the result will be not transparent. So who's building the AI? This is the question. This is the right question that we have to ask ourselves. What is their agenda behind building this kind of tool?
Models, yes.
Exactly. So we have to be open with these questions. We have to identify the risks since the beginning. It's not after the crisis is coming. So we have to be 100% transparent. Exactly. Yes. We have to be honest with ourselves.
طيب, thank you, Engineer Sheikha. I'd like to take your opinion about the same question.
I agree with what Sheikha said. We are building a system, and who's building the system? Humans. Humans are naturally biased, but this does not refrain from using toolkits and principles that we need to adhere with. We're speaking about transparency, fairness, human oversight. The whole life cycle of building an AI module or a system itself should embed these principles to avoid future outfalls, for instance. Again, we have a lot of global frameworks that are existing. The UAE itself has an AI strategy that we can look into it. There is the EU AI Act that looks into the transparency of AI and the regulations and the enforcement and what kind of aspects we need to embed when it comes to developing pre, during, and post, and throughout the whole life cycle. There is the OECD AI also framework. So there are existing frameworks and regulations, but again, it's not just telling AI and embedding it with and to be governed by just facts, but also to be governed by the importance of creating checklists and checkpoints throughout the life cycle of the AI system.
So as an analyst, Engineer Reem, you told me that you also are a data analyst. How can we measure those defaults? Because today ChatGPT hallucinate and it gives you the feeling and the look. It's he is like smart, but you got into trap that he's saying the truth. He is telling to be in your side, but then when you face it and it shows that the information he stand on, as Sheikha said, what kind of data it was implemented. Can we measure, or how can we actually always check what are other people into, or this is impossible in the field? Is that challenge impossible to solve? How do I know what are you getting as a value from that agent you have, or my ChatGPT? What is he telling me? What am I getting as an information? Do you think that is challenge? Or is that like something we can't measure, but we will face in 10 years because it's just a hype now? Everyone in ChatGPT. I even saw people like in love with ChatGPT, creating it as a life partner. And that is like, oh no, yeah, it's a scenario. Or there was a movie also about it once upon a time. It's called Here.
Yeah,
it's happening
I
now.
watched it. It's very interesting.
It's like now. It's... I don't want to lie. It's so funny movie, but it's a reality. So it was a futuristic scenario. Now it's real. What do you think that challenge will expand? We will find a lot of people getting into the hallucination of AI.
I think so. Your question has multiple aspects, and I love my colleague Sheikha also to step in.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. The facts we were discussing this with Sheikha before we were entering about the data sets. The whole system is built on data. It's very important that you feed it massive amount of data to create what we have right now. Generative AI is just a subcategory of narrow AI.
But that's what
narrow AI that works on a specific task.
Yeah.
I've been with people who were telling me that I've been using ChatGPT and talking with it more than my family and my friends. The data and the responses has improved, certainly. The hallucination has improved compared to how it was last year. It's a matter of understanding that it's relatively infant in the market. You need to understand GPT or the whole realm of AI. It's still at the beginning of exactly. We're gonna see a lot of amazing implications and future opportunities in the.
Do we call families to watch out their children? Do we call for like small practices that we monitor what other people. When I see you, Reem, no longer talking to us, shall I check? Because yesterday I just saw a story about a guy who has like a certain disease, a mental disease, and started the ChatGPT, implemented it. You got into a really fascinating invention, and you are great. And what the guy was telling him, I'm getting this and this. He told him, no, you're fine. Suddenly he crashed. So shall we socially be responsible as a humans for other now at that stage to prevent others?
I think it is better now to just let the AI flutter. Then we can control it. But people, they have to do their homework at the beginning. They have to increase their awareness. You cannot use a technology, because each and every technology, they have two sides, good side and bad side. So we have to understand how to use the good side and leave the bad side, such as the results, that is the outcome of the ChatGPT. For example, if some people, they are going to use GPT to diagnose their illnesses, they're sending their reports and asking about the results. So they don't understand that it could get you a wrong diagnosis. So and some of the mental health is affecting people. They are building a relationship with the GPT and generative AI.
Yes.
You have to be, yes.
I find it as a challenge of AI and the human. And as day by day, we are seeing people spending time. So as Engineer Reem said, there is a skills need to be built by humans. I find now the values need to be implemented by, like, I feel it's social. I think it's a social responsibility that I keep telling people about. Okay, you can use it, but think twice about this information. It's been, as I read, I am a researcher into AI and I create lots of workshops. I am into education and I have educational technology startup. I read the Finland model of how to teach teachers how to teach AI. They wrote that we reached to the fourth industrial revolution, where the student and the teacher have the same level of knowledge, and maybe this student is even more advanced in technology than the history teacher. Is all his time into history. Now you coming to the class with this cube technology, you know everything. You play Roblox as a metaverse platform, and you are talking with a doctor who is like studying ancient things with a structured way. So how can we empower teachers? One of the technique is to allow children to apply critical thinking onto ChatGPT answers.
Yeah.
And challenge, and this is their homework. Okay, use ChatGPT, but tell me what's the prompt, and go find on library or real resources. And in that model, in the Finland, which is called, I'm not getting the name, they actually teach children how to investigate the information. And this is some skills I need to adapt. And I always teach teachers, teach humans, teach mother to witness and tell them, okay, just look into this information. As Reem said, this is one of the skills now and in the future, critical thinking. And today he hallucinate and give you a resource. When you click onto that resource, guess what it says? Page not found.
Yes, it
Even exactly to this limit. So
human oversight is very important. So we cannot just use a tool and expect it to be idealistic in every aspect. But we cannot deny it did help us with productivity, increasing our efficiency. But it's our responsibility, and it starts at a very young age. So, for example, now at schools, you need to raise the awareness. My cousins, they're like 6 years old and above. They use these tools very interestingly. Like, they know a couple of prompts, a way of using agentic AI, and also utilizing other AI tools to build their own, for example, a business model and websites, which has impressed me. This is something even I myself still gasping. There are hundreds of tools coming out every day, and the regulators themselves are not keeping in pace with the advancement of this technology. So we're up to a big challenge as a societal aspect, but then it's a social responsibility that starts within yourself to learn and adapt to the change that is happening.
I agree totally. And as Sheikha said, UAE is always upfront and start from this year.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabb, in all the education models will implement AI from KG or even younger in nurseries to just enable them to utilize this technology. And I believe the curriculum will be based on our values, on our ethics, and how we grow up. And we're looking forward more of UAE, incredible, what we call it. I'm speechless when I talk about UAE, passion about humans, growing and impact others, as you all mentioned, and I can see your input. Last but not least, Sheikha, if you get an opportunity to meet a character or a role model in the world of AI and cybersecurity, who would that be?
This is a very interesting question. I didn't even thought about it, but there is a lot of people that I want to meet, to be honest, so I cannot just
wish.
Be...
Maybe your wish will come true. Shall I give you a second to think about it?
Could be Elon Musk.
Yes.
Because, yes. I think his mentality to adopt the technology and changing the world and his influence and his influence in the technology fields is incredible, to be honest.
Thank you so much. And Elon Musk, please. Engineer Sheikh, deserve it. Deserve it. Online is okay. Online is fine. Engineer Raymond Musabbah, if you would like to meet a character, Arab, international, who would you like to meet?
A very good question. Maybe a character that has died, does not exist.
Shall I bring you back to death? Okay, hello.
So, a prehistoric character, Khwarizmi.
Okay.
A scholar that I think because of his work, it has laid literally the groundwork to power AI today.
Yes.
His name is literally what reference to the algorithms. Yes. So the mathematics, the algebra, the computational algorithms is all because of this amazing Arab scientist. So love to maybe in some afterlife.
Any optimistic view about AI?
Optimistic view, certainly. I'm very pro AI in every field. We have seen amazing projects coming out. Maybe I can speak from my experience running the youth platform, Unipreneur. So I do mentor a lot of early stage startups and young entrepreneurs. And I see how they utilize these tools to build societal and impactful solutions that really solve real world problems. Whether it's combating climate change, creating a circular economy, or even mental health solutions utilizing AI. So this gives me a positive view. Yes, the young generation are aware of the implications of these tools, and they can help with building impressive solutions in the future. So we're having a generation that is not just participating in the economy, but they're also actively building it now.
Looking ahead, what is your vision for combining technology and diplomacy to influence innovation policy globally?
Thank you for the question. It's important that we understand that diplomacy today, it spans beyond embassies and treaties and negotiations. With the rise of different tools, we live in such an interconnected world that is shaped by the digital transformation. So the supercomputing, AI chips, the 5G network, everything right now is influencing the geopolitics. It's influencing the national security and also adhering into also the economic sovereignty aspects. So diplomacy can never be isolated from technology. And this gave the rise for a term called tech diplomacy. Tech diplomacy is basically how can we bridge the gap and shape the relationships between diplomats, between innovators, private sector innovators and collaborators to discuss those future frameworks and standards, looking into, for example, cross-border data flow, looking into digital infrastructure dependencies. So we see the future of diplomacy being very digital and very human in an aspect. As a person myself who's working at the intersection of both technology and diplomacy, I believe that we need diplomats who understand technology, and we need technologists who understand diplomacy. We need to find that middle ground. We live in such an era where AI supremacy, quantum races, bioweapons, fragmented governance requires us diplomats not to just mediate between states, but also understand how will that affect the human conditions? What will be the implications of these? So diplomacy will play a big role in that aspect.
How could a nation develop these diplomatic policies or enable nations or individuals to actually start looking at it? It's the first time I understand and answer this, and I'll give you another thing in my head.
So how can nations develop such?
Empower people into looking at diplomacy, policymakers, technology, and create this ecosystem, as I can feel. It's like a flow.
It happens at the state level. So, for example, in the UAE, we have the AI strategy. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has already implementing a lot of ways to include AI within their workflow in such spaces. So countries will need to understand that, as I mentioned in the previous question, diplomacy can never be isolated with technology. They need to adapt and have the willingness to learn and utilize these new terms instead of the outdated school ways of doing work, because it's going to affect your geopolitics, it's going to affect your national security aspects and sovereignty. And as I stated, you need to create this capacity building aspect to bring the right talent to understand these technological aspects and create that nexus that gathers the industry experts, the private sector with the government and come up with a framework that adheres to their national interests.
Will we see an AI diplomat in the coming future?
I think for this point, it's not only about the diplomat, it's about each and every field in the UAE. So it could be implemented in an energy field, in each and every field, in the national security, in the education field, that we have to have this kind of intersection between the specialists in the field and the technology. So they should have the solid ground.
I can visualize it as we are in school. We have to study everything.
Yes.
Even we are not into math, but we have to study math. Is that what you are trying to refer? If I can put it, we need to merge it with us.
I think an AI should be merged with the life science and in each and every sector.
And again, Engineer Reem, does policy needs to change rapidly? Can we change the policy fast?
I think it's a question that is multifaceted. You can't have a specific answer to it. The technology itself is developing at a very fast pace, that the regulators themselves and the policymakers are challenged. They cannot keep in pace with what is happening. So it's a matter of understanding the framework, utilizing existing agreements and acts that are already has been announced globally, and creating a global collaboration, because it's very important that we emphasize the fact it's not just a one country or a one state act. It needs a collaboration on a multilateral level for them to advance and create that ethical and fair standard of AI models.
Wonderful. I am grateful for this knowledge and sharing your insight about diplomacy and technology engineering.
Appreciate it.
If there is one question you would like me to ask you, Sheikha, what would it be?
I have no idea.
What should I ask you?
Something related to future of AI, maybe?
What do you see? How do you visualize it?
To be honest, in less than maybe 10 to 20, 15 years, it will be an AI that will support everyone
As a humanoid or as a software?
as everything.
So as Elon
It will
Musk,
be part of our life.
with each human, with each 5 human, there will be 1 robot.
That's interesting.
How about you?
And I think it will be more than that. And it could be, we will be utilizing the AI in automation. So I think it will eliminate some jobs, and we need to introduce new jobs for AI.
I always say in my workshop, let's create an AI around us. Every hard object that can be implemented with a software and have internet can be transformed into AI. Everything will see, everything can talk, and everything might have a conscious. Is it scary?
Well, you never know. Are we going to a dystopian future or a utopian future? And it's us human beings to decide on that aspect.
Always the future foresighting for the future give you possible scenario and positive, negative, and probable scenarios that might happen.
Anything is possible.
I can see that we are living today the imagination of others. Again, AI was just an idea. Can machine thinks of, as you both know.
Yes.
So what we ask you guys to keep thinking, what is possible? This universe is so getting amazing. Engineer Sheikha, if you would like to give a simple advice to people to protect themselves with this changing world of securities, and I know there are a lot of people trying to hack us every day and night.
Exactly.
How can we just
educate yourself in the technology field in general, not in only cybersecurity field or AI field. Do not depend on whatever GPT or AI result. Please, this is coming from my heart, to be honest.
I thank you so much, ladies, for this wonderful opportunity. I feel bigger now, and even like with my soul having you fulfilled my one of my mission is to empower others, share knowledge, and expand others. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
It is our pleasure to be here. Thank you, girls.
And I hope this episode could spread awareness, insight, and look into AI as a tool. It's still new. Look at it, investigate it, trust it when you know exactly what's the outcome. Human is still the core of this world. Thank you.